I see God multiplying back to me all of the money that I use, give, or circulate in any way in a never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. I see God blessing the work of my hands and making everything I touch prosper. I see God opening financial doors that no one can close. I see God surrounding me with divine opportunities for wealth and abundance. I see God expanding every seed I plant into a harvest of prosperity. I see God multiplying every act of generosity I give to others. I see God increasing my resources so I can bless more people. I see God returning to me everything I give, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I see God guiding me to wise decisions that lead to financial success. I see God's favor resting upon my finances, my business, and my family. I see God pouring out blessings that I don't have room enough to receive. I see God working behind the scenes to bring increase into my life. I see God multiplying my income as I honor Him with my wealth. I see God giving me divine ideas that produce financial breakthrough. I see God's abundance flowing into every area of my life. I see God's hand upon my career, creating unexpected promotion and prosperity. I see God filling my life with overflowing blessings and peace. I see God turning every financial challenge into a miracle of provision. I see God bringing new streams of income and favor into my path. I see God increasing me in wisdom, faith, and financial strength. I see God restoring everything that was lost or delayed in my finances. I see God rewarding my faith with divine overflow and joy. I see God using me as a channel of abundance to bless others. I see God multiplying every tithe, offering, and act of kindness I give. I see God blessing my home with wealth, health, and peace. I see God expanding my influence and capacity to receive. I see God making me a magnet for divine opportunities and resources. I see God causing people to favor me in ways I never imagined. I see God multiplying every bit of effort I put into my work. I see God increasing my harvest as I sow with a cheerful heart. I see God aligning me with the right people and partnerships for growth. I see God opening windows of heaven over my finances. I see God blessing my creativity and turning it into prosperity. I see God multiplying my talents and turning them into wealth. I see God transforming my financial story into a testimony. I see God's grace multiplying my blessings every single day. I see God filling my bank account, my heart, and my life with abundance. I see God increasing my giving capacity through divine favor. I see God prospering me as my soul prospers. I see God making me a living example of His financial blessings. I see God blessing my steps and leading me to abundance. I see God removing every block that stops my financial flow. I see God multiplying back to me every dollar I spend in faith. I see God creating new sources of income that bring joy and peace. I see God providing all my needs according to His riches in glory. I see God's favor increasing upon my business and career. I see God's abundance flowing into my family and future generations. I see God giving me ideas that create lasting financial freedom. I see God blessing me with divine clients, customers, and supporters. I see God multiplying every blessing I share with others. I see God sending money, miracles, and opportunities my way. I see God expanding my territory of influence and prosperity. I see God pouring divine increase into my hands every day. I see God using my finances as a testimony of His faithfulness. I see God blessing my heart with generosity and joy. I see God multiplying the love I give into tangible blessings. I see God turning my generosity into generational wealth. I see God filling my life with divine favor and overflow. I see God giving me strength to manage greater abundance. I see God transforming my thoughts into prosperity consciousness. I see God blessing my daily work with divine acceleration. I see God restoring double for every financial loss I faced. I see God bringing people who pour blessings into my life. I see God using my faith to attract divine provision. I see God turning my giving into streams of increase. I see God blessing my wallet, my home, and my mind with peace. I see God multiplying my joy as I give freely and faithfully. I see God rewarding my consistency with lasting prosperity. I see God using my obedience to unlock new levels of increase. I see God turning my visions into financial victories. I see God blessing me with stability and supernatural supply. I see God filling my days with unexpected financial surprises. I see God aligning my heart with abundance and generosity. I see God transforming every challenge into an opportunity for gain. I see God multiplying my resources as I use them for good. I see God blessing my life with ongoing success and prosperity. I see God lifting me to higher levels of financial peace. I see God increasing my harvest as I sow with gratitude. I see God blessing me with divine prosperity that never ends. I see God multiplying everything I give in faith and love. I see God bringing clarity and direction to all my financial choices. I see God's glory shining through my abundance and giving. I see God expanding my vision for wealth and service. I see God blessing my spirit with peace and prosperity. I see God bringing balance, growth, and overflow into my finances. I see God rewarding my trust with continuous supply. I see God establishing me as a testimony of His financial grace. I see God causing my money to grow, circulate, and bless. I see God's power multiplying my income beyond my imagination. I see God turning my obedience into abundance. I see God giving me peace, purpose, and prosperity in every area. I see God filling my cup until it overflows with goodness. I see God multiplying every blessing I recognize with gratitude. I see God turning every giving moment into a divine exchange of love. I see God establishing me in His never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. I see